Absolute
Welcome.
legends.
Oh, no. What am I doing here? Irrelevant. Good. Hello, acolytes. I am here again. And what I'm gonna do is the thing that I'm always doing. Well, not always, like a lot of the times. I'm reacting again to Josh's actual... Karl Jobst freaking video of this girl that actually, well, cheated in her last blindfolded thing. And in my opinion, because I didn't see pre-watch the video, so what I assume, because I actually seen what she did the second time, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of bullcrap, it's exactly the same again. She definitively cheated again, and I'm gonna base it on purely because of the way she actually looks. You will see it. If you ever had a blindfold on your face, you wear it down the nose, like half down the nose, so it covers your entire eyes, not half up like she does, so she definitely sees it. And the second thing is, she definitively has a third monitor. I'm gonna freaking set my... Well, I wanted to bet my balls, but, well, you know, not the nicest thing to say, but I'm gonna actually bet those, because, well, she definitively cheated again. But maybe I am just presumptuous, maybe I am wrong about that, maybe. So that's why I'm actually gonna just watch it, because Karl is way better than me. He actually has the utmost respect for me at this, and I am just happy to actually just go in and just say, okay, you know what to do, you know what you're doing. So let's just start and see what he has to say.
The streamer known as Queen Pones pretended to beat the Dragon Alatreon wearing a blindfold. This garnered her quite a lot of attention, but when people experienced with the game she was playing and those experienced in blindfold speedrunning saw her video, they realized immediately it was fake. Unfortunately, Queen Pones effort of faking a blindfolded run was extremely poor. Not only was she using strategies that are just flat out impossible to use while blind, but the blindfold she was using was so thin and obviously fake, even we, the viewers, could see straight through it. Soon enough, people were making videos calling out her fake run.
And yes, it was so fake that it was... I'm sorry it hurt. And I don't know why and who the F actually believed that. I do not get it at all. Like, it was so obvious. And of course, as I said, if you actually cheated once, you probably cheated twice, so... But who knows? As I said, maybe I'm wrong.
And Queen Pones was beginning to get quite a lot of negative attention. As it turns out, the public doesn't appreciate liars and people who try to fake gaming accomplishments for clout. After receiving backlash, Queen Pones fought back, announcing that she was going to do another blindfolded run of the Dragon Alatreon, but this time with more proof. On the 14th of February, she went live.
Yeah, and by the way, Asmongold defended her. This is something that I just have to... Asmongold, if it comes to actually... It's specifically women, he defends them for some reason really aggressively. And I don't know why. It's just... I don't know. It's more of a simp behavior, to be honest. In most of the times, not always. But I also get it, like, women get a lot of shit just because they are there most of the time, because, well, you know how it is that some simps just think, yeah, I have a chance with the girl if I just spend a lot of money on her. No, that's not how this works, just by the way. So it is what it is, and just get off it. Just go out, touch some grass, and look up what you actually can do with your life. Don't just wait on the internet for someone that actually, well, you pay money for basically nothing. But
and she was stacked to the gills with ironclad anti-cheat measurements. This time she wore a genuine blindfold. She had a hand cam. She had input display. She had paper covering up her monitors. And she was live. Surely there was absolutely no way she could cheat. And with all of this in place, she did it again. She beat the Dragon Alatreon in front of hundreds of people. She was so convincing that it seemed like everyone now believed she was legit.
But anyway, yeah, it looks like the Altreon blindfold kill was actually real. It did actually happen.
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Queen Ponsalot was just more gifted than everyone else, and she could really do things blind.
Oh yeah, there is this. Like, if you ever actually got a blindfold on your face, this is not how you wear it. It's not even close to the way you wear this thing. Alone by this, you can actually see stuff just through it. Like, come on!
Blindfolded that no one else could. Or maybe, just maybe, she just cheated again, and we don't know how. Honestly, when I first saw her new successful attempt, I didn't know how she did it. But I did know two things. One, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And two, people always underestimate the autistic power of speedrunners. I was committed to finding out how this was done. I envisioned sophisticated cheating methods that would be impossible to detect. I figured that whatever Queen Ponsalot did must be pretty genius to fool everyone so easily. For 3 days, I meticulously studied her video. I worked with experts to clarify game mechanics. I spoke with programmers to see if we could replicate her run using advanced software, but I was getting nowhere. And then, after 72 hours of running into dead ends, I finally saw it. I noticed that Queen Ponsalot did something that gave everything away. The curtain was lifted, and the magician had exposed her secrets. I had the smoking gun, and within 20 minutes of seeing Queen Ponsalot do this one thing, we knew exactly how she did it, and we had the proof. As it turns out, I was on the wrong track the entire time. I thought the method she used must have been smart because no one detected it. But in the end, it turned out to be the simplest and dumbest method I could have imagined. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how Queen Ponsalot faked her most recent blindfolded takedown of the Dragon Alatreon, and I guarantee that you'll be shocked at just how many things she did to try and fool you. I really hope you enjoy.
So even more than I think, because I am, as I said, the blindfold instant giveaway, in my opinion. This is just obvious. But the rest, let's see what he got.
Legends, let's be honest. If you're watching my channel, it's because you are a gigantic nerd. I'm a huge nerd. You're a huge nerd.
Okay.
That's just the way it is.
This one, but still. By
in
the
my
way,
previous
if you
video,
watch
we looked.
Just get, and you don't know Karl Jobst for some reason. Just watch it, please. Watch him because he does really good work. He does extremely good work, and that's why I actually look at him. And if some of you are actually Warhammer fans like why am I killing the freaking hero? Because after a patch, I don't remember exactly which one, you actually get more EXP and more rewards if you kill units than just defeating the enemy in a battle. So there's that.
Looked at Queen Ponsalot's earlier blindfolded runs, where she used a really thin, transparent sheet of material to cover her eyes and pretended that she couldn't see. In this case, it was so easy to debunk because everyone can just use their own eyes and see that her blindfold was fake. As far as her gameplay was concerned, it's also really obvious that she can see as well. She claims to use the audio to know exactly where the monster is, but years of blindfolded competition tells us that this is impossible.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the camera movement is also a thing, but just in case you didn't actually look at the last video, she actually moved her camera exactly perfectly to the head of this guy every single time. And it's just, if you play blindfolded, that's not something you automatically do. It doesn't even matter. She plays a great sword. If you just get your camera up, it won't do anything for you. It's just actually nonsense. And yeah, there are just some things. Okay.
I also highlighted that beyond knowing where the monster is, it's also impossible to detect whether you are looking up or down. So if you see a blindfolded player using their mouse to look up or down, you know they can see. In her latest attempt, we see all of those impossible gameplay mechanics in action once again, and in some cases, it's even worse. She will access the menu in order to use items and mess up the camera, and then immediately and perfectly fix it. She even does this when the dragon is not making any sounds at all, so there is quite literally no audio cue, like in this example. Beyond the impossible vertical movement, we also see crazy head tracking in real time that is just laughable. I mean, just look at this gameplay. In the last clip, she is rolling underneath the dragon, keeping the camera on its head perfectly as she does it. It's hilarious. And remember, looking up does nothing. It doesn't let her hit any higher, so there is literally no point in doing this other than to see the head, which makes no sense if you're blindfolded. All of this seems very confusing because she appears to be wearing a proper blindfold. And as I mentioned before, her monitors are even covered up with paper, meaning that she can't see them anyway. This led me to consider other ways she might be playing without seeing. One way would be some kind of aimbot. Aimbots are common in many games, so it's possible if she had some kind of sophisticated software, it could help her aim on the dragon. This would solve the problem of locating the dragon and also solve the vertical aiming issue. However, this wouldn't solve all of the problems, like being able to dodge attacks that don't have sound cues. In one instance, she accidentally hooks onto Alatreon's leg instead of its head, and immediately releases before targeting the head again. But there is no
Yeah, this was... I had to cringe on that one, but it's like F you for that one. This is for every actual freaking guy that actually played Monster Hunter. Isn't this obvious? Isn't this just obvious? I mean, I didn't play... I played Monster Hunter a bit, but no. Even I, a noob, actually recognized that.
Audible difference between hooking onto the leg or the head, so there is no way she should have known. In order to solve issues like this, I theorized that maybe someone was talking to her and giving her instructions through Discord. With someone in her ear and some aim assist software, you might be able to play like this without sight. I reached out to Monster Hunter World expert TSC, who actually developed the first known aimbot of the game. According to him, if she was using an aimbot to achieve this effect, it would require software far more sophisticated than anyone in the community currently possesses. It seems unlikely that this was the method. The most
So basically she didn't aimbot. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, okay. No, her moves still looked halfway decent, so... Yeah, no.
One theory I saw online was that she was using pre-recorded gameplay. Maybe she beat Alatreon earlier and just played that gameplay footage during her live stream. Something like this has been done before. I even made a video about a speedrunner who cheated by using a pre-recorded run during a live charity marathon. However, I didn't believe this was the case. Queen Ponzelot had two cameras and they were both completely in sync. I studied her mouse movements and they always seemed to match what was going on in the game. And so did her keyboard inputs. Her mouse sensitivity was very high, so a lot of movements are hard to see, but I couldn't see any discrepancies. It did appear as though she was actually playing. In my opinion, this also ruled out the idea that someone else was playing instead of her, perhaps by using remote assistance. This is an idea that the YouTuber Abisoft spent some time investigating to see if it could work. But aside from her mouse movements matching her gameplay, latency issues would also be a huge problem. Some people suggested that she was using a magician's blindfold and she could see through it. But this is extremely unlikely. Her blindfold doesn't look like any fake blindfold I could find, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert Mitris has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and trust me, we noticed this immediately too, is that after Queen Ponzelot killed Alatreon and lifted the paper up, there was something on her screen. And it seemed like she noticed this and moved the paper back down to try and hide it.
I pause it. what is on the screen and what is on the thing? Is Monster Hunter on her screen? And then watch what happens. She puts it back down to cover. She's quickly trying to hide it. And then the game comes back up on screen.
This is the Windows Start menu, and the reason it appeared is because she hit the Windows key. In fact, she hits the Windows key multiple times throughout her blindfolded attempts. This bugged the hell out of us, and we had no idea why she was doing it. Could this have something to do with how she was faking her gameplay? At seemingly random times, she would hit the Windows key, which would tab her out of the game. This caused her inputs to stop working. She would then need to hit the escape key to try and get back into the game. Watch this clip where she hits the Windows key and then spends 10 seconds trying to get the game to work again. This is bizarre, and she does this multiple times without ever mentioning it. She acts as if this really weird thing that she is doing isn't happening, which—
Damn, that's... What the F? I didn't even notice that. But yeah, that's... What the F?
is obviously really suspicious. Ultimately, it seems like this is some kind of unrelated tech issue that she was having with her eye tracker. Multiple times before she even started her blindfolded attempts, we can see her hitting the Windows key in order to fix something. She even mentioned it earlier in her stream.
We needed to fix the Toby.
I think this tech issue has nothing to do with her blindfolded attempts, but an important question to ask is how did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and couldn't see, but knew there was some kind of technical issue and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this without looking, and without saying anything to her audience. It's all really bizarre. In the end, however, after discovering the truth, I realized this was a giant red herring. After several days of brainstorming, I was beginning to run out of ideas. But then, in the middle of the night, I revisited a question I had from day one. There was something that Queen Pwnsalot did that was really strange, and I couldn't figure it out. Immediately after she covers her main monitor with paper, while she is attempting to distract her viewers, she holds down her left mouse button for 10 seconds. This was actually one of the very first things I noticed when investigating her run, but I never had an answer as to why she did it. Normally, when you hold a button down for a few seconds, it activates something, and this was one of the reasons I thought she was using some kind of software. But I had overlooked something that was so obvious and so simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately. Once I understood what she was doing, it was game over. Holding her mouse button down for 10 seconds told me everything I need.
Wait. Normally, if you hold down your mouse button on something, anything, you either... I think she drags something around, because nothing else makes any sense. Yeah, it's basically if you just want the window to go left or right, you're just determining the position of something, moving it around.
Needed to know. It unlocked all of her secrets. It revealed to me that there was in fact a third hidden monitor. Queen Pwnsalot wants us to believe that she only has 2 monitors.
Yep, that's what I said.
When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her monitor on the left has all of her other stuff on it.
To the main attraction as we get our duct tape for our main monitor, because yeah. There's the other one. So you guys know. There it is. With all my other stuff on it. Boom.
This is a lie. In truth, she has a third monitor to her right, off camera. Before she covers it with paper, we can see that her main monitor has her OBS streaming software on it. This shows her gameplay, and it also has her Twitch chat docked into it as well. One thing that struck me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this wasn't on purpose.
No problem. Alright, alright, cool. Now, alright. What is oh god, I'm sorry, I didn't think this through.
But the reason she did this is because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still see everything she's doing, but it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it. She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key. Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, basically.
That's why we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most common thing you do when you hold down your mouse button? You drag windows. While talking, she drags her OBS to her hidden monitor on the right. We can confirm this with the input display. We can see her hand move it to the right, and she even looks at her hidden monitor on the right when she does this.
that's why we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
She will use her OBS on the hidden monitor to see the game. Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left monitor.
alright, move that over, okay. Shoot. Okay. I'm sorry.
She moves her mouse to the left, she looks to the left, and she even says that she's moving something. However, we can see on the input display, she doesn't even click her mouse. Now, despite the fact her monitor on the right is supposed to be a secret, she cannot help but stare at it constantly. She even responds to this exact message in chat while looking at it. However, mid-sentence she realizes how stupid this is and stops talking.
Did you just see that? Why is she looking down there?
Everything will be unedited.
I mean, not down there.
After panicking and thinking for 10 seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from the monitor on the left.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited. What was the last thing you said? Unedited.
The funny thing about Queen Pongelot reading chat from her hidden monitor is that it's completely unnecessary. There is no need to have chat there in the first place, and it just causes her to constantly look at it, making it obvious it's there. And it also causes her to screw up by responding to it. I'm guessing she just couldn't help herself, and she really wanted to see all of her fans talking about her as she was playing. So we know that she has a monitor to her right, but how does she see it? Well, the secret is in how she's wearing her blindfold. She's wearing it very, very loosely. It's barely able to stay on her face, and on top of that, she wears it very high. This is not how you're supposed to wear a blindfold. Anyone who owns a blindfold like this knows you don't wear them loose, you wear them tight. If you wear them loose, light gets in. By wearing her blindfold loose, she can see through a small gap between her nose and the blindfold. The gamer Juzzy has already replicated her exact setup. In his case, he showed his two monitors which he turned off, he wore a proper blindfold, he used the exact same input display, and he had a hand cam. With all of this, he also killed Alatreon in expert fashion. Here, he explains how he did it.
As you can see now, my monitors are off and I'm blindfolded, but despite my short-sightedness without glasses, I can clearly see these targets and shoot at them. And why is that? It's because there's a secret here. Right now, I'm wearing the blindfold, right? But I can see out the gaps between my nose and my blindfold, and if I wore it even looser, I'd be able to see out the sides left and right in my peripheral vision. Then the next step to the trick is the fact that another thing you guys noticed, there's two monitors here, right? But they're not the only ones. There's a third monitor on my left.
On top of wearing her blindfold very loosely, Queen Pwnsalot also sits back in her chair and looks up in an unnatural way. This is to get a better viewing angle. Before her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent around 1 hour playing with her old blindfold over multiple days and weeks, and for that entire time, she always sat like this. She was leaning forward and looking directly in front of her. This is because while her blindfold was partially obscuring her sight, she could see straight through it and was looking at the monitor directly in front of her. With the new blindfold, she can't see through the front of it, which...
Yes, that's why she actually sits up, like halfway upright. It's basically, if you look at it, it's basically like sitting someone that actually wants to look under the thing that I just have on the nose. Or am I full of shit like here? It's just, I mean, it's obvious on the one hand, but on the other hand, people just... I don't know why people fanboy her for this. It's like, if somebody scams you, why would you even want to look at them again? I just don't get it, to be honest. I literally don't get it. But well, I mean, that's my thinking, so... you know.
Which is why she has now completely changed her sitting position so she can see down and to the side. This is not a normal way to sit, and world-class blindfold speedrunner Bubsia confirms that when you see someone sitting in this position, it's a giant red flag.
And if I curve up even more, but that's already looking very sus, I guess, if you sit there like your neck breaking. If I sit like this, for example, I can see half of my monitor. I can see OBS right now, literally. I can see the volume meters going up. I can see the picture. If I turn a bit, I can see the other monitor.
And it's as simple as that. There is a hidden monitor on the right, and she is playing through her OBS, which she discreetly moved to it. I can't believe I spent so much time researching aimbots when the solution was so stupidly basic. And while it's so easy just to say there was a hidden monitor, which some people did, it's an entirely different story to provide concrete evidence. The fact that we can literally see her move OBS to the hidden screen, the fact that she reads chat from it, the fact that she stares at it constantly, the fact that she wears her blindfold so loosely, and the fact that she sits in such a weird position all prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is the way she cheated. But here is my favorite part. After she has killed Alatreon, and while paper is still covering her screen, she looks directly at the hidden monitor and moves the camera around perfectly. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. And beyond all of this, the simple fact remains, the way she played the game is impossible to do if you can't see. Now let's be real for a second. At the end of the day, this entire thing isn't a big deal. This is just silly, fun internet drama, and it's just really interesting to learn how Queen Pwnsalot faked her blindfold runs. Personally, I'm not emotionally charged about this. I just love trying to expose video game fraudsters because I enjoy it. This whole back and forth is honestly really entertaining. But make no mistake, her behavior is not healthy, and it's not a good thing. There are gamers who spend thousands of hours legitimately trying to do amazing things without the ability to see. Blindfolded gaming takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of ingenuity. And Queen Pwnsalot keeps taking a giant steaming dump on all of their efforts. Because of her actions, people are going to trust the accomplishments of real gamers even less. Skepticism will disproportionately rise, and the public will become even more cynical. But on the flip side, maybe that's a good thing. The amount of people who threw common sense to the wayside and took her runs at face value is pretty shocking. Maybe people do need to be a bit more skeptical, and maybe this lesson was an important one to learn. Let me know what you think in the comments. I worked with a group of gamers.
Now, Acolytes, would you agree with that thing? Because yes, I also think that people just don't give a F about the truth anymore. Like, it's really rare that somebody actually tries to do something about stuff like that, that actually wants to see the truth, and not just someone who basically bullshits them. I mean, it's a bit sad.
They speak
But also that's just reality right now.
Our forests afloat.
But as it is, acolytes, good night.